Welcome back. I finished dinner and returned to my accommodation. Phew. I'm really tired. Same. I've been in plenty of rough situations during my career as a PD, but nothing compares to what I'm going through right now. I wonder what my next step should be. Lost in thought, I stare into the empty space before me. We got a lot of books, didn't we? Where do I find those? Vampire. Okay, so it tells us all the new stuff. Let's get to some lore. Succubus Summoning Diaries #1. December 5th, 1484. A guidebook to hunting witches called Hammer of Witches is published by Heinrich Kramer. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Said to have inspired countless witch hunts, the book describes methods of discovering witches, as well as methods of dealing with them, most involving inhumane torture. Also, this book was the first to offer a definition of the term succubus as we know it today. Though a great source of fear for some citizens, there were those fascinated by and drawn to the book. Among them, oh my gosh, Federico de Montefeltro, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, whose story shall be told here. Driven by lust and his sexual desires, this nobleman vowed to summon the charming succubus to spend a night in her embrace. That's probably not going to end well for him. Oh no, what happened to the text? I can't read it. It's like cut off at the side here. 1493, the beginning of Federico's research. He tasked one of his maids with investigating the deaths of people around him, under the pretext of collecting information on a disease to aid a doctor he's friends with. However, his instructions grew increasingly bizarre. Federico explicitly wanted to hear stories of people who died in absolute fear and terror, highlighted in red, by the way. The maid inquired if it was not, I can't read the text, it's cut off, something, to feel fear before death, but that wasn't what Federico meant. He, something, wanted to hear about those who died filled with fear and despair. Or insanity, I'm assuming that says. Though unnerved by these strange instructions, the maid followed her master's orders. Furthermore, the maid was driven by the thought that she could potentially aid the master's doctor friend with his work. Diligently conducting investigations, the maid was finally able to provide Federico with the kind of story he was looking for. The maid was still unaware of the truth then. All the deaths shared similarities commonly associated with the work of a succubus, the very same creature her master was intent on summoning. Okay, so people who encounter the succubus die in absolute fear and terror. Do we have to click the fear and terror? It's just automatic? Alright. It's a horrific monster. Jokes on you, I'm into that. Alright, Diaries 2, December 5th, 1484. A guidebook to hunting witches, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's all the same stuff. So only the right page is new. Federico visited the estate of the person suspected to be a succubus victim himself. The deceased was a commoner named Lorenzo Esposito, whose widowed wife was taken by surprise to have a nobleman suddenly visit. Sensing the widow's nervousness, Federico threatened her until she confessed about her late husband's work. She told Federico her husband had started acting weird a month ago. She assumed he was sick with an unknown disease. When he started talking about the devil repeatedly, she decided to stop inquiring for fear of being put through a witch trial. She also said that the day before his death, her husband ran away, and when she found him, he was performing a ritual with a strange sort of magic wand. I'm not saying anything. Federico wanted to know more about this ritual, but the wife had already cleaned up the entire site where it had taken place. She kept saying she doesn't remember anything and to please keep it a secret, and ultimately Federico received nothing more than some strange writings on parchment. Federico then started researching the language on the parchment and found out that, oddly enough, it was Hell's language. Samont. Ooh. Okay. Its characteristics were an exact match with the previous information he had gathered on the succubus. Federico rejoiced with glee. He felt that he was one step closer to summoning his own erotic servant. Okay. So, the succubus is a monster of fear and speaks hell's language, Samont. Okay, we didn't get anything new for the witch. Let's check out the undead. Presumably, once again, only the right page is new information. Okay, month X, day X, sunny. Tackling my new project caused me quite a few headaches. My last 2 books after Nightcrawler failed miserably. Another dud would really tarnish my reputation as a writer, so there's a lot riding on this next project. I want it to be pure horror again, with a focus on the occult, and decided to pick the undead as the focal point. Is it wrong of me to do so, to turn such a serious matter into entertainment? I spoke to the well-known occult researcher, Hong-Young-Ji. Hong-Young-Ji. I thought again the text cut off. My bad. Hong-Young-Ji on the phone. She had already helped me greatly 4 years ago when I worked on Nightcrawler. We agreed to meet up tomorrow. I hope she can offer some guidance. Month X, day X, sunny. I visited Hong-Young-Ji today. She told me she had really enjoyed Nightcrawler and was looking forward to working together again. We reviewed a lot of material with potential for a novel, and some of the things she showed me were completely new to me. In particular, a bunch of newspaper articles about a string of serial killings. The articles were short and without photos, and in all of them, the victims acted as if deceived, highlighted in red, and unlike themselves before going missing and turning up dead soon thereafter. Hong-Young said this is the work of an undead with a straight face and showed me more material. I understand that she's an occult researcher and really means it, but all of it just sounded a little too far out there for an ordinary person like me. The material itself, however, was quite interesting, so I happily borrowed it from her. I will start working my way through it all tomorrow. So, the undead are monsters of deception. Noted. All right, we've got one more new fox spirit record. 1919, month X, day X. It is written that Chunho said goodbye to his family when he left for the hunt, as he would on any other regular day. An expert on the matter named Wante Han was waiting for him at the Hamgyong provincial government. A scholar fascinated by old books, he had read every piece of literature about the legendary fox spirit in existence. He offered Chunho to answer every potential question and was excited at the thought of finally seeing the fox with his own 2 eyes. Chunho asked him about what to be on the lookout for to track the animal, and Wante offered some wholly unexpected advice. He mentioned a specific strange text. The fox spirit uses a unique language to communicate. It is known as Ancient Demon Tongue, highlighted in red. Wante explained it in great detail. He said this fox spirit had been nicknamed Heart Piercer, and that many people in the province where it was seen still secretly worship it as a spirit beast deity of sorts. What does that have to do with the mission? Those who worship this Heart Piercer think it brings them good fortune. If you find the text they get their information from, it may yet lead you to it. The governor of South Hamgyong province at the time, Lee Kyu-wan, Japanese Asada Ryo, took note of Wante's claims. He ordered the province to be searched for every piece of writing potentially containing information. Chunho wrote the following in his diary in response to this. This order only served as a free pass to lay waste to local villages. No means exist that could help locate something so elusive. Did Wante not realize this before he opened his mouth? He must have been blinded by his desire to find the fox spirit. Wante seemed to not care about the damage his info had caused, and the next meeting between the 2 men was far from pleasant. So the fox spirit speaks a unique old language. Okay. Oops. Oops. What's all this again? Belongings. We should probably unclick all of the suspects until, I guess we get all of the information. But we've got the first case suspect and the second case suspect. Summoned. Succubus. Fear. Monster of fear. This one has to be the succubus, right? So, we've got two things here already. But it took place at the river. I feel like I saw the river somewhere. Oh no, this is the forest and the lake. Okay, we're good. So the second case I'm thinking at this point has to be Nutty, the succubus. Because we've got already two things. The monster type fear, the language summoned. Okay, well, what about this one? So the deception was this one. But the location is the forest and the lake. While this location is the school. Well, we'll cross off Nutty for now anyway. We need more information. We're not quite there yet. I feel like we had... Yeah, there we go. Alright, we got a lot more notes. Let's get to it. The man sent by Satan himself is scheduled to arrive here tomorrow. I shall welcome him and leave Hope Hill for a while afterwards. I do not wish to risk getting in the way of what is to come. I did some research on him in advance so as to properly greet him. He wishes to be called by no name, and instead wants to be viewed as nothing more than a vessel for the great Lord Satan. He said he would attend the grand ritual and wants to be referred to as simply the witness. That's the guy we met. I can't help but ask myself why we would need a witness to observe this event. If keeping an eye on things is the only intention, then Satan himself could easily watch our every move from this throne. And if interference was the true goal, then Satan would have sent a different entity altogether rather than a mere proxy. As a mere human mortal, it is often difficult to grasp the thoughts of that which is infinitely greater than ourselves. Indeed. The 9-day ritual and event guide. Our cult of Mammon has dedicated everything to Lord Mammon's resurrection. Bishop Kim eventually discovered a way to pull it off. It is a 9-day ritual called Novena Diabolos. The requirements for the ritual are as follows. First, we need 5 demons serving as potential vessels for our great Lord Mammon. Second, these 5 will have to be summoned by martyrs following our cause. Third, a chosen one must choose a vessel and perform the last step. These are only the absolute basics in simple terms. Selected martyrs must perform the rituals to call forth these monsters, and the chosen one cannot be allowed to know of the role he plays in this divine event. To ensure this, he must be kept away from other people as much as possible and should remain undisturbed. The event shall commence soon. As a resident of Hope Hill Village, your task is to make everything go smoothly for all parties involved. The martyrs, the demons, and the chosen one. K. Succubi around the world. This monster is known all over the world, often also categorized as night alp. Some people say great care needs to be taken when differentiating between the terms. It would be a great mistake to label all creatures who invade dreams under the same umbrella term. The following is a list of some of the most famous examples from all over the world categorized as succubus for ease of reading. Okay, I'm not going to read all these. Depending on who you ask, the origin of the term succubus can vary greatly. Alright, again, I'm not going to read all of these because it's just going to take forever. There's a lot of information and it doesn't necessarily look like this is necessary for the cases, but rather it's just like if you don't know about them, here is some information about the things you can find in this game. Cool. Okay, now, let's move on. I feel like a complete idiot. Oh yeah, right, my evening routine. I stand up while muttering to myself. My evening hours are reserved for casual meetups with the women around here. Indeed. Hoo boy. I still don't have a clue who the real human is yet. What scares me the most is that, slowly but surely, I'm starting to get attached to them. Stay focused, Junsung. Stay focused. Only one of them is a real human being. I need to make her trust me. On the last day, she'll need to blindly trust me during the most crucial moment of all. All right. Now, who should I meet up with? All right, we get to date again. Shaman, weird. Okay, so we've got some information about the girls now. Timid and introverted, quiet and caring, shaman and weird, snobby girl and arrogant, lawyer, dad framed. What? Okay, well, I feel like we kind of need to go with shaman and weird again, because that was just a whole experience. Yes, let's go see Sumi, the abandoned school. The building is surrounded by a hazy layer of ominous fog, and the vacant former playground looks just as unwelcoming as it did on my last visit. Sumi, she's here as well. As I ask myself why she'd choose this uninviting spot of all possible places, my attention is drawn to the large bag that's next to her. I didn't think about it too much last time, but that's actually a really heavy bag for someone like her to carry around. I wonder what she's carrying around with her. What are you looking at? Oh, it's nothing. It's just your bag. Looks like it's filled to the brim. These are purification tools. Ah, of course. Wait, what? Flashbacks of what I had to endure last time invade my mind, playing out like a repressed fever dream. That's about the best way to sum that up. Naked Sumi drowning me in a mixture of water and spit is something that I had hoped to quickly forget. No chance. Will you do the same things as last time?
말고 다른 거.
No, something else. Something else?
앉아.
Sit down. Without giving me a satisfying answer, Sumi orders me to sit, pointing at the designated spot. With a deliberate loud sigh to make my frustration known, I hesitantly take my seat. Sumi pays no mind to my audible concerns, and is already pulling something out of her bag.
눈 감고 합장해.
Close both of your eyes. Put your hands together. Will I be repeating the same words as last time while my eyes are closed?
그냥 경건하게 앉아 있어.
Just sit down in reverence.
불순한 영혼을 참회하면서.
In deep penitence, ode to the impurity of your soul. I really want to know what I did that's worthy of me having to repent. But something tells me that asking Sumi won't net me an answer. But I just close my eyes and put my hands together. There's a non-stop bombardment of strange sounds that make my imagination run wild. What the hell is she trying to do this time? What's going on? I can no longer fend off my curiosity and open my eyes a little. Whoa! What is happening? As I sit there panicked, embarrassed, plus filled with a wide variety of other emotions, Sumi approaches me. Wait! What's...
가만히 있어!
Do not move! As soon as Sumi's close enough to me, she grabs me by the back of my neck with one hand, while pressing the other hand to my forehead.
아무가 바이루치 하나 마함무드란 마니 바드마지 바라 브라바를 타야 훔.
Things are getting weird again. Sumi keeps repeating words I can't make sense of and presses against my forehead to put me in a lying position. It's such a sensory overload that I can't resist. I lie down and let her hand lead me. As soon as I'm completely on my back, she picks up what appears to be a stick made of bamboo. She looks at me with determined, glaring eyes. Uh-oh, are we about to get whipped? Hey, don't tell me you're going to...
약간 아프다. 참아.
It hurts a little. Be strong. No. This isn't... I think there's been some miscommunication. Ow! Ow! Get wrecked. Sumi starts beating me with the bamboo stick and doesn't hold anything back. Arms, legs, face, oh, balls. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, that's... Ow. I desperately try to crawl away. My survival instincts are now in full effect, especially after that last hit.
가만 있어.
Stay. Hold still. Ow. Lord have mercy. Am I being dragged around? I already noticed this before, but her enormous strength simply doesn't match her small frame. No, please. Ow. Every time that bamboo comes, I feel it. No, please. Wait a minute. Ow. Stop it. I find myself crouched and slumped over, not knowing what to do. At that exact moment, the vicious blows suddenly stop. I look at Sumi with teary eyes, astonished, embarrassed, humiliated. You name it, I feel it. Sumi suddenly walks away. She's muttering one of her incantations again.
왜 누워있나? 일어서.
Why are you on the ground? Stand up. Huh? What are you even saying? You put me on the ground in the first place.
의식 끝났으니까 일어나라고.
I have finished with the ceremony, so get up.
일어나서 기도해.
Get up and pray. I don't know if it's because of the brutal, barbaric bamboo beating or a general sense of defeat, but I find myself acting surprisingly obedient and submissive and start to pray. Let's see. I think it's great, merciful, harmonious tree.
잡생각 품지 말고.
No mischievous thoughts. Yeah, something tells me following her orders is the smart choice here. I start praying, vowing to myself to do my best, even though I still highly disagree with the savage way she treated me. Great, merciful, harmonious tree! I won't fail again. I'm giving it my all, trying to suppress any other thoughts that could potentially interfere. Meanwhile, Sumi has been at it with another strange dance routine, and is now kneeling down, talking to herself while blankly staring at the sky. After a while, she slowly stands up.
끝났어.
It is over. Phew. I exhale loudly and lean back. Here I was, thinking the worst that could happen would be an uncomfortable spit shower. Thank you for reminding me of that. But instead, I got beaten into a helpless fetal position. I feel pathetic. I look at Sumi and have to try really hard to suppress my rising anger. It's hard to tell what she's thinking, but she looks strangely satisfied. It's over now?
접신만 겨우 끝났다. 이제부터 퇴마를 해야지.
I have concluded the procedure. I can already sense a lot more purity coming from you. Hey, I've been wondering this ever since last time. What exactly happens to you while you do your thing?
무당은 신과 소통할 때야 지혜가 충만해지고.
It is only when a shaman directly communicates with God that their wisdom reaches its peak.
아니, 알 필요 없겠지.
However, these are things you don't need to know. After being oddly talkative for a moment, Sumi returns to her old, much less forthcoming self. Looks like even she got a little excited herself there for a moment. Alright, maybe this is my chance at an actual conversation.
이제 볼일 없다. 가봐.
That concludes our business. Leave. I love this girl. Leave? That's it? Just like that?
바쁜 벌꿀은 낭비할 시간도 없어.
Busy bees shall not waste honey. Yeah, I'm sorry, what? Honey? No answer, as always. Sumi waves her hand a little without even bothering to look at me. I still find it hard to accept this cold demeanour of hers. My original plan had been to talk to her about some things, but her general disinterest and my ceremony-induced fatigue make me unable to even bother. I also leave the abandoned school without bothering to say goodbye. Ouch. While walking away from the school, I belatedly feel the aching pain in the delicate areas that Sumi hit with the stick. Though the impact sounds made it seem more painful than it actually was, I have no doubt that this will leave some nasty bruises. I gently rub the parts that hurt the most and start thinking about everything that just happened. She's in direct spiritual contact with a much higher being, or so she claims. In that case, there's a high probability she plans on exorcising the evil in this village that I've encountered myself. Though I have my doubts if any human can handle such a wicked foe. During my demonic encounter, my whole body was frozen stiff. It was completely overwhelming. Even if she has the ability to exorcise evil spirits, is she properly equipped to deal with that caliber of foe? Filled with a rising sense of anxiety, I look back in the direction of the abandoned school. I think about Sumi. Despite everything, she appears fragile and weak on the outside. Is it really okay for me to leave her alone in a place like that? I look at the school while lost in thought a while longer, then head towards my next destination. I don't have time to waste either. Okay, well, let's end this episode here. We've got the game saving. So we started with a whole big old lore drop. It seems likely that Nutty is the succubus and that she was probably involved in the second case. Still not entirely sure on the first case, and, well, that's all we have right now. As for who is the human, honestly, I don't know. Like, it could be the shaman. I'm thinking it could be the shaman. Just because, I don't know, I'm not getting super evil vibes from her, but maybe she's just good at deceiving. I don't know. Anyway, come back next week. Let's find out more. I'm really enjoying this one so far. I like the whole detective mystery aspect of it. It's fun to try and figure out what's really going on and who is the person we have to try and leave with. Anyway, I'll see you guys next week. See ya.